Hi, this is Misha, and I've got a new gun here to talk about today. Not really new to the market, but new to us. Actually, JDI SAN Imports was doing inventory, which all businesses get to do in January, and one more of these was held back for whatever reason, and I was offered it, and I thought, what the hey, we have not had one yet. Let's try it out. What we have here is the Swiss Arms Neuhausen SAN 553RP. The R is for Russian, the P is for pistol. This is chambered for 7.62-39, so standard AK. And it has an 11.9, so almost 12-inch barrel, with threads at the muzzle. It's not a single piece barrel. It's actually what SAN calls a two-piece. So the flash hider can be unscrewed. It's threaded 5/8 by 24 underneath, so a nice standard common pitch for 30 caliber. With this flash hider on, it's about 13.6 inches. Otherwise, we have the hump on the barrel for the grenade ring. We have the ring down here if you wanted to install a bayonet lug. We have a standard 553 short gas system, commando length, green mil-spec furniture. We've got backup iron sights here and back here. They're very stiff, which is good. These are not going to flip up by mistake, I promise. They are adjustable. The front's adjustable for windage. The rear is adjustable to some extent for elevation. So you can I think the idea is to dial them in for, say, 100 meters. We have a Picatinny rail, which is welded to the receiver. The receiver itself is stamped steel. We have the newer style horizontal cocking handle to allow for optics without banging into things. The lower is the modern aluminum for lightweight. I have an arm brace on it. Actually, I took this one off my 553P in 556 for this video. The lower itself is very similar to standard. We have the ambi safety. We have the removable trigger guard. The trigger is adjustable. We have storage compartment in the pistol grip. We have a similar mag catch, but this takes AK magazines. And it does not have a bolt hold open because AK magazines. Well, enough jawing about the basics. Let's see how she shoots at the range. SG-553R. SG-553R with Wolf. SG-553R. Well, as you saw, it fired well with steel cased ammo. We had some Wolf and one of the bears, brown or silver. We tried a few different mags, metal, these Polish mags, both the modern WBP kind of translucent green, and these older black ones. Also mag pull. Because of how the mag well is on this, you waffle mags with real extreme waffling may not fit. Arsenal mags will usually fit, but you kind of have to coax them. One thing I've noticed about how mags go in this gun versus say an AK, on an AK you usually have to kind of come in at a pretty exaggerated angle and do this. On this gun, the angle you can go for is much shallower. It doesn't really have much of a rock to it at all. So the action's a little different, and I think that might be getting a few people. This gun was originally designed for a Russian contract in 2006-2007 is when the Russian FSB requested a 553 chambered for 7.62-39. Swiss Arms worked on it and released it in 2008. It's of course a select fire gun. They did have this is the LB version with the 12-inch barrel. They do list an SB version with an 8.9-inch or a 9-inch barrel in their catalog, but as far as I know, the Russian contract was for the 12, which makes sense. This was designed to be suppressor ready. It has a 4-way regulator. Early ones had a special setting. They were marked with an X for suppressor. More recent regulators, you just use the 1.2 setting. I actually confirmed that today, so that's why it has a common thread and it's meant to go, and I think that was one of the main reasons the FSB wanted it. I'm sure other Russian agencies also purchased them, and Swiss Arms would continue to send these to Russia under contract for a number of years in small numbers until the sanctions in 2014. No, it wasn't just America that sanctioned Russia. Pretty much Europe and all of North America did too after the whole Crimea Ukraine incident, but I'm not going to get into politics. So after that, they sought out some other customers, and they also improved the design. They started to sell the 553R on the civilian market, and see, Russian units have been using it with just standard old Russian steel mags and standard military ammo, no problems. But when people started to put different commercial mags and ammo in it, they had some problems on full auto with cases getting ejected and then hitting, for example, the wall in a shooting booth indoors and actually bouncing back into the ejection port. So Swiss Arms tinkered with the port, changing the geometry to try to prevent that. They also had trouble with mags like mag pull not fitting because of the magwell not quite being an AK. So they ended up kind of scalloping the sides here and otherwise tweaking the magwell to try to get it to accept a wider range of mags. In fact, these ship with mag pull mags now, although it really seems like they still prefer steel mags. Those are the easiest to go in and fit the loosest. So they have kind of changed it over time. Again, the gas regulator has been altered a bit, and they have had ongoing contracts, and that's kind of how we ended up with these, thanks to JDI, now known as SAN Imports. Originally, Dave brought in 100 that were contract overruns. They sold out quite quickly because this was actually quite a bit cheaper than the 223 556 version by several $100s, again because it was a contract overrun. And then they offered him 69 more as another contract overrun, shipping 19 last year. So to date, we've had 119 come into the US, and 50 more are scheduled to be in sometime in April or May of this year, 2019. So by this summer, we should have about 169 in the country, and most of the 50 coming in are spoken for, but there might be a dozen or so free, or sometimes people cancel orders at the last moment. I don't know. And yeah, so pretty small numbers, guys, pretty small numbers. And again, these are several $100 cheaper than the 223. We don't know who the current military buyers are because Swiss Arms has a confidentiality agreement. They won't say. Not Russia, though. They're very, very insistent it's not Russia because they absolutely don't want to get caught up in any kind of shenanigans. So, but lots of nations use 7.6239 and have tons of AK mags. And of course, you would never arm your entire military with these, but special forces, SWAT teams for police, yada yada. Yeah. So there you have it, guys. I'm sure we're going to do more with this. I do actually plan on converting this to a carbine, but I'm just going to make an extension. This barrel, like I said, with this flash hider is a little over 13.5. I'm going to make a plus 2.5 extension because I got to be honest, even though it was reliable, shooting it with the brace, the way the angle is and everything, being 7.6239, it wasn't all that pleasant. But I think with the standard Swiss shoulder stock with the more curved ergonomic rubber recoil pad, it'll be better. I can't say it was painful, not at all, but it had a tendency to climb because of how this fits. It just, yeah. So gotta say it wasn't the most enjoyable to shoot as a pistol, even a braced one. Funnily enough, I told Dave that and he laughed and agreed. So I would say if you're gonna get one of these, personally, I would either SBR it or make it into a carbine, because that's when they, hopefully, when I do that, become a little more enjoyable to shoot. As it is, I have to say, we kind of enjoyed shooting the Arsenal SAM 7K a little more, but then again, it's also a heavier gun. This one's relatively light with a stamped receiver and an alloy and polymer furniture. It's not the lightest in the world, but it's lighter than a milled Arsenal. Well, there you have it, guys, our first little look and thoughts. I like the Russian history of these and how they really were made for a military contract, and that it's kind of one of the rarer guns we've been able to see in the US of NA. I still continue to be impressed with the things that are coming in from Switzerland, both from SAN and Brugger and Thomat B&T. I really hope 2019 has more pleasant surprises for us. And if you haven't, you might check out our older videos. We have one or two on these guns. I'm kidding, we have like 3,000. But anyway, we appreciate you tuning in. If you have any stories or comments about your own SAN guns or older SIG guns, love to hear about them as always. If you could, like, share, subscribe, and check out the link to our Patreon page. Anything you can do to help, we appreciate. And we will catch you very soon next time.